rain shower. So, classic rain shower was very weird.
Yeah, you just didn't want your clothes wet.
Man trying to avoid... Modern rain shower is, I think, perhaps weirder, because we have Bowser in a tree throwing balloons? Like, gunk-filled balloons at people? And what are these people doing? Like, okay, Junior is just kind of hanging on this line. He's just kind of relaxing. Toad is hung like laundry on this line? Did Toad do something recently that he needs to be punished for?
Usually. Oh, dear!
This is what happens when they get hit. So yeah, the balloon is filled with, like, paint or some other kind of colored goop. When you hit 50 points, Peach comes along to sit in this little swing.
Oh.
And I don't know why these people are here! I don't know what they're doing here. At 100 points, you know, in Classic, it would, the rain would stop and you'd get the sun. In Modern, it changes seasons.
Uh-huh.
So now it started as summer and became autumn, and now it's winter. And, you get a little P-switch that turns all of the current balloons to coins, and also you get, a heart at 200, 500, and 700. That's a thing in all of the modern versions.
Okay.
Also note, the balloons are all color-coded for what line they'll fall in. So green is in the centermost line, then it's red, black, and blue moving out. At 350, Wario shows up, and he sits in this little basket thing. At 400, we move on back to summer, because we moved to spring at 300.
Right.
With the cherry blossom. There are these moons. You don't want to dodge the moons, you want to have somebody catch a moon, and when you catch a moon, it fills up your moon gauge down there, and when you have all 5 segments of your moon gauge filled up, you just beat Bowser the fuck up, and you get a 20-point bonus, and then he just comes back, and the moon gauge empties. At 550, Yoshi comes to sit in this little hammock. At 680, Luigi comes to sit in this other little hammock and sleep. What is everyone doing here? When Yoshi gets hit, he doesn't actually get hit. He just tries to eat the balloon, and then he doesn't like it because it tastes bad.
I'm out of words.
Well, when Wario gets hit, first his little barrel thing that he's in gets knocked off, and he gets all painty, and Junior gets hit, he gets knocked off the line. He's very angry about this.
Like, at first I thought it would be like acid or something, but it's
no, it's
not,
just like
paint.
It's paint. So I have no idea why these people are just congregating and hanging here.
They're just hanging out.
Now, like, I can kind of understand the seasons passing. It's the Mushroom World. Magic shit happens sometimes. But they're just like, why? Why are they doing this? Is this a game that they're playing? Why? Why is Toad hung like laundry? Again, did he do something recently that deserves punishment? Because we've seen that Toad sometimes gets subject to unusual punishments.
He does.
But, like, what is this? I really do not know. And,
like, he's getting subjected to an unusual punishment, but not covered in pain. That would be rude.
Yeah, maybe this is something that happened. I can only, like, the only way I can make any logical sense of this is if this is a game that they are all gathering together to play.
Uh-huh.
Because, like... Okay. Maybe it started out with Toad receiving some unusual punishment. He gets hung on the laundry line to dry. And he was just going to be left there. But then Bowser shows up, and he starts trying to throw these paint balloons at him. And, well, that's too far. That's going too far for the punishment. So then Mario has to show up and keep Toad safe. And he can occasionally have the spare time to punch Bowser a little bit and knock him out, but Bowser just keeps showing up and throwing balloons. And Junior showed up just because this looked like something fun happening. And then Peach shows up, and I'm not...
Peach shows up just because she wanted to see what was going on.
Yeah, because, like, oh, Toad's supposed to be here being punished. What is going on with all of these balloons? Why is Bowser here? And she's just now kind of watching Mario. Perhaps she is mesmerized by Mario's, quick movements at, keeping Toad dry.
And then more people just show up.
Like, Wario showing up just to sit here and, like, fuck around. That makes some amount more sense. Because he's Wario. He will just fuck around.
Yoshi shows up because...
Yoshi doesn't understand what's happening.
I mean,
he
Yoshi's,
just sees,
Yoshi's
like,
just
he tried to
Yoshi.
eat the paint. And then
Oh,
Luigi's
no,
just... And then Luigi shows up because, like, everyone else is here, and all obviously, like, oh, these got hammocks set up. Let's relax.
Oh, now he's blue.
Yeah, he gets very angry if his nap gets interrupted.
It's a shame we can't paint him green.
That's happened in a previous Game & Watch Gallery modern thing. His nap has been interrupted by him being covered with some kind of goo. That time it was oil. Also, you may have noticed there, you kind of get a little bit of leeway with, like, a second before... You'll see, like, the little balloon hovering on top of someone for half a second before it actually hits them. And so, like, you can pull them out of the way and then it will just fall past. So, anyway, that's that. And we unlocked the star mode, very hard difficulty. And also, I didn't explicitly point it out, but every character has their own miss icon that they get. On hard, instead of starting with Toad and Junior, you start with Luigi, Wario, and Yoshi. Which changes things up, makes things maybe a little bit harder in kind of unusual ways. And also, replacing the crows from Classic is Waluigi. He just sees this happening and decides to add chaos.
That sounds like Waluigi,
It
honestly.
does sound like Waluigi. That part at least makes perfect sense.
Doesn't care who's going to get covered in goo.
Yeah.
Just as long as Mario is embarrassed.
Yeah. Because we already know that Waluigi holds no loyalty to Wario whatsoever.
He holds no loyalty to anyone.
Exactly. This is what it looks like when Junior shows up at 150. He comes up and he just kind of jumps on the line. I actually managed to clear hard mode on this on my first try. I didn't clear standard on my first try because it was very... There's a lot going on that I kind of had to acclimate to. And here's what it looks like when Toad shows up. He just kind of walks up, and he looks up, and he runs off, and then he's hung on the line, and he scrolls on by. So, it's also entirely possible that, like, Toad's hung himself on the line for some reason. Maybe that it's relaxing for a Toad to hang on a laundry line.
Definitely a punishment. He's told to get
Yeah.
up there, he looks up and is...
I mean, that would also make sense. You know, he was ordered to be punished, so he came of his own volition and accepted the punishment. That would make sense. Toad would do that.
And he's like, but Bowser's here throwing things at me!
And Mario's like, I'll keep you safe, so you can only be embarrassed the right amount.
This is sillier than usual.
Yeah! Game & Watch Gallery 4 has a lot of really, really weird shit. I really enjoyed Gallery 4, much more than any of the other galleries.
I think the most important takeaway from this is the confirmation of moon magic.
Yes, because there is still moons. We have Bowser throwing moons occasionally. And I'm not sure... Yeah, there's definitely, like, a moon theme throughout a lot of the modern games in this gallery.
Which is weird that they didn't use stars.
Yeah, I find that very interesting as well. Like I said, I think now, at this moment, the Mushroom Kingdom is having, with their experience having seen the Shine Sprites, they're looking into other sources of celestial magics. And so they just kind of have these moons everywhere that they're trying to work things through with. Anyway, we've got a new museum game. Next is the multi-screen classic Safe Buster. If you don't catch and dispose of the bombs dropped by the criminal,
Sorry, what?
the safe will blow up and the loot will be stolen. So that's another one we're gonna see, the 7th museum title. Safe Buster.
Not sure I quite understand what they were saying. We'll have to look into that later.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at Modern Very Hard
Yeah,
Rain
let's look at
Shower.
Very Hard. This is
So everybody's here.
interesting. Yeah, it starts out, like, again, it's basically, it starts out at exactly what hard mode would be at 1,000 points. Everybody's here, it's high speed. I really got into the zone of this, and I did incredibly, like, the score on that I got on Very Hard. I was shocked at how well, like, this, it took a bit to kind of get used to, but once I got into the zone, this is one of my favorite of the modern games, just for, like, how it feels to play. It's very frantic, it's very good, it's very responsive, and it's just goofy as hell! I still am struggling to understand what is going on. Like, we've come up with a theory that makes an amount of sense. But, maybe if anyone in the comments has, anyone watching has other ideas, throw them in the comments. I would love to hear additional theories
I would love to hear
what
your
is
theories,
happening.
please. I mean, it makes as much sense as the Cosmic Cube, but...
No, the Cosmic Party Cube makes more sense. Because it's just a thing from that happened.
It came
the
from
cube
space.
came, and then we had to interact with the cube.
We had to. We were made
This-
to interact with the cube.
This is, like... This is not something came and we're interacting with it. This is people are being weird for no apparent reason. They're doing this of their own volition.